Reds are monitoring Kamara. Liverpool have had an eventful summer when it comes to midfielders, from the rejection of Moises Caicedo to Romeo Lavia suffering the same fate, with the duo opting to move to Chelsea rather than Anfield. This prompted the Reds to look for a defensive midfielder, with Wataru Endo, a surprise signing from Stuttgart, arriving to give Jürgen Klopp at least an option in that role. However, it is reported that the German manager could sign another midfielder this summer and could turn to one of the other Premier League clubs to solve his midfield problem permanently. Everything seemed to be going well for Liverpool in the early summer transfer window. They signed Alexis Mac Allister from Brighton and Hove Albion for £35 million before bringing in Leipzig midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai for £60 million. Things went downhill from there. After the midfield reinforcements arrived, Liverpool took a step back with the departures of Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, who they are still struggling to replace. It's a glaring problem, but Klopp could turn to Aston Villa midfielder Boubacar Kamara to solve the midfield crisis. According to reports in Spain, Liverpool are keeping a close eye on Kamara. Of course, Aston Villa are under little pressure to confirm a deal as they only signed the midfielder on a free transfer last summer and have him contracted until 2027. But as Liverpool's desperation grows, it remains to be seen whether they will continue talks with those at Villa Park for the remainder of the transfer window. After missing out on Caicedo and Lavia this summer, adding Kamara would be ideal business for those at Anfield. It's true that it would be a difficult deal to pull off, but the stats show that Kamara would solve the biggest problem in midfield. According to FBref, compared to Fabinho, who left the club this summer, Kamara got forward more, made more tackles and made more blocks than the Brazilian last season. At just 23 years old, the Frenchman will arguably be an upgrade on Fabinho at Anfield this summer. At his best, he deserved praise, including what Jacek Kulik said after listing Kamara's stats at Marseille a few years ago. He is 21 years old. Marseille's crown jewel, Kulik said. His stats were also incredibly impressive. Kamara had 1 assist, 5 key passes, 1 successful dribble, 2 interceptions, 2 aerial duels and 4 interceptions, as well as an 89% pass accuracy with 74 passes in the game against Montpellier. It was that kind of performance that earned the Frenchman a move to Aston Villa, and he hasn't looked back since. Now, as the summer transfer window closes, Liverpool could make their own move for the Frenchman. The Reds are preparing to be very aggressive in the final days of the transfer window. Liverpool boss Jürgen Klopp has already identified a £60 million replacement for Mohamed Salah. Liverpool boss Jürgen Klopp has reportedly identified Federico Chiesa as Mohamed Salah's replacement should the Egyptian make a shock exit from Anfield. Salah has been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, but only time will tell if the Reds will agree to a deal in these final days of the transfer window. Al Ittihad are desperate to sign the striker on a mega-money contract, with the riches of the Saudi Professional League reportedly tempting Salah. The Egyptian has reportedly been offered a massive £191 million deal that would make him the highest-paid player in the world. Liverpool are unlikely to sell at this stage, but are reportedly still looking for alternatives. Juventus ace Chiesa is often linked with Anfield and is a natural replacement for Salah. It seems that Klopp wants a player from Italy to replace Salah should he leave. However, Juventus are expected to demand around £60 million at this stage. According to Italian sources, Klopp is already looking at alternatives for Salah should the worst happen before next Friday's transfer deadline. Chiesa's excellent start to the Serie A season, including a goal against Udinese on Sunday, has reportedly put him in Liverpool's sights. However, Klopp hopes Salah will stay until the end of the transfer window. He insists Liverpool will reject any approach from Saudi Arabia or elsewhere. Salah signed a 2-year contract extension last summer, keeping him at Liverpool until 2025. One of his representatives, Romeo Barcica, insisted earlier this summer that the deal would not have been signed if there was any possibility of Salah leaving. Responding to speculation, he said, "If we were thinking of leaving Liverpool this year, we would not have renewed the contract last summer." Mohamed remains committed to Liverpool. Chiesa could be the perfect replacement for Salah. The 25-year-old, who shone for Italy at the 2020 European Championships, overcame a horrific knee injury to score 23 goals in 95 appearances for Juventus. Klopp said in his press conference today that Salah is definitely not for sale. However, efforts are being made just in case. The Reds are targeting the Feyenoord duo. To say Liverpool have had a turbulent summer would be an understatement. The Reds started the summer transfer window well, bringing in Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai to begin a much-needed midfield rebuild. Since then, however, things have only gone downhill as they missed out on important targets. Now, as the window draws closer to closing, Jürgen Klopp and his team are reportedly turning their attention to Feyenoord for options. In addition to the midfield crisis, it could be argued that the Reds need another central defender this summer due to Joel Matip's injury and the fact that he has a year left on his current contract. However, according to reports, Liverpool have turned to Feyenoord to solve both problems. The Premier League giants are reportedly in contact with both David Hanko and Mats Wiefer for potential summer transfers. Hans Kraaij Jr., speaking via Football Transfers, specifically mentioned the potential deal for Hanko. He said that all Premier League clubs have sent scouts to the Netherlands. He also claimed that Hanko is worth £40 million to almost every team. Feyenoord have yet to name a price, but it seems certain that he will cost Liverpool a hefty fee as the transfer window closes. Given their problems in both central defence and midfield, signing Hanko and Wither could be a stroke of genius for Liverpool. Hanko, a stopper, is only 25 years old and therefore in his prime in the Netherlands. The Slovakian played an important role in Feyenoord's title defence last season, even coming from behind to score 9 goals. Wiefer, a defensive midfielder, is only 23 years old and played an equally impressive role in Feyenoord's title defence last season, scoring 3 goals and assisting 7 others in all competitions. According to FBref, Wiefer passed forward more, carried forward more and completed more passes better than Endo, who had just joined Liverpool last season. He also made more blocks, interceptions and tackles per 90 minutes. Any way you look at it, Wiefer would be an option to strengthen Klopp's midfield. Hanko also completed more forward passes, more interceptions and made fewer errors per 90 minutes than Joel Matip last season. If Liverpool sign the Feyenoord duo, it would be a solid deal. Liverpool's transfer inactivity has frightened everyone, but we can expect a lot of action in the final days of the transfer window. Klopp has made it clear that he wants at least one midfielder and at least one defender. It won't take long for these names to join the team.